Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another knife review for you. Today we have the Kizer Junges. Pretty sure I'm pronouncing that correctly. German is one of the three languages I at least kind of understand. And I know Junges means like small animals. Basically, it's like the plural of small animals. And it's designed by Carlos Elsner, who sounds also maybe kind of German. So I'm taking kind of a guess at that. I don't know a lot about the designer. But this is a really cool little knife. 64 bucks. Bowler N690 steel. This is the micarta version. It does also come in a couple of different G10 colors. And very happy to get my hands on this one. This was one I kind of got just on looks alone, and it really impressed me. I also tried to get another knife that he designs for Kizer, the Assassin, but those were out of stock. I did get this from White Mountain Knives. If you go to whitemountainknives.com, use the code SDWMK at checkout, you get 10% off. I don't think this one is in stock at the moment. Maybe the other colors are. I'm not really sure, but I think these sold out pretty quick. But it is a really cool little design from their Vanguard line. Really like the look of the micarta. Very, very nicely done. And I like the holes. It's just a really good looking knife. And that blade, though. If you don't like clip points, you're not going to like this. If you like clip points, you're really going to like this one. This is one of the clippiest clip points of all clippy things that I've ever reviewed. It is very, very, very clip pointy. Some places listed as 154 cm. And I know I posted on Facebook earlier today, and a lot of people were asking, is it 154 cm or N690? So apparently there is some confusion there. But this one is N690, and it is a full production model and all that stuff. Came with the usual Kizer box, which I do have here for their Vanguard line. The Vanguard lines have a bit less in them, but still quite a bit of cool stuff in here. If I can just get it open again. Little plastic thing it sits in. And then you've got the little plastic thing it sits in, and then you've got there's all the information and stuff in here, and a little Kizer cleaning cloth, which is pretty cool. So yeah, not bad stuff to get for $64. I can't really complain too much there. I really like the Kizer Vanguard line. They do give a very good bang for the buck as far as ancillaries go and blade materials and stuff like that. As far as the N690 versus 154, I'm kind of potato on that. I like both of those steels quite a bit. I might like 154 a tiny bit better, but it's like marginal. It's just like as far as sharpening goes. As far as edge retention and stuff, they're pretty equal. So let's talk more about this knife. We got to start out with this blade. It is by far the most distinctive characteristic of it. And the Assassin also has a very clip pointy sort of blade. The designer clearly is very fond of those. I just love the way it looks. Tip a bit dainty. Not going to deny that, but let's do some specs and size comparisons, and we'll dive more into this blade and as far as ergonomics and all that kind of stuff, our usual shtick. You have an overall length of 7.15 inches. There we go. I knew I'd get it out eventually. Blade length of 3.1 inches, which I admit is a bit disappointing. I wish it was just dead on 3 inches for legality's sake. In a lot of places, if you get a cop that's angry enough at you, they're going to say this is over 3 inches. So I do kind of wish it was just that little bit shorter. You have a blade thickness very thin at 0.11 inches. Handle thickness also pretty thin at 0.44 inches, and a weight of 3.25 ounces according to my scales. Now, size comparisons. Let's get going. We'll start out with our usual Spydercos. We have your Para 3 lightweight, the disappearing cobalt blue because it's a Spy 27 version, and the Paramilitary 2. You can see it's much more Para 3 size. It's not a really big knife at all. Bring out the usual Benchmades. We have your full-size Griptilian and the full-size Bug Out. So just a little bit shorter than a Bug Out. And now let's talk about some other stuff here. Let's bring out some budget stuff I don't always bring out we'll talk about, this is another knife in pretty close to the same price category. This is like $80. This is the SOG Terminus XR. The S35 VN1, very similar in size to that. Something a little bit more expensive still, but also kind of similar like construction, I guess I would say. This is the Wee Knives Banter. And just a couple more here. We'll have the CJRB Mini Feldspar. Very similar in size to that. Great little budget knife. And the Civivi Dogma, which I think we're going to be seeing a whole lot more of around the world soon. Just released and seems to be selling like the proverbial hotcakes. All right, now back to that blade. Kind of got ahead of myself for a minute there, but that's just what there's so much to talk about with this. It's just this blade. It's only about 16 thousandths behind the edge, so it's extremely slicey, as I pointed out. Very, very kind of dainty tip, which is not uncommon on clip points. So you're not going to want to go prying on anything with this. Shouldn't be doing that with a pocket knife anyway, but this is one definitely you're not going to be wanting to go prying on stuff with. It is a flat grind, almost a kind of more of a saber grind. It doesn't go up that high, but very thin behind the edge and very thin blade stock. It is a slicing machine, and as far as tips that you can do detail work with, as they always say that we never do, you can definitely do it with this, especially in this kind of pinch grip. You can really get up and just with that fine little tip, it's like an X-Acto knife. You can really get in and do some really good detail stuff with it. I really do like the blade on this, and again, N690, no problem with that. It's not it's becoming a more common steel, I guess. It was something that like was common then wasn't, and now it's kind of back in vogue again. And I have no issues with that. $64, perfectly fine steel, no issues there. Ergonomically, this thing is really, really good. I have large size hands but fairly skinny fingers, but I can get all 4 fingers on this, no problem at all. The jimping is placed very, very well. If I had one ergonomic complaint, I think maybe the jimping's a bit aggressive, but it's not like uncomfortable, so I can tear your fingers up. I don't think they just needed to make it quite as grippy as it is. But with these micarta handles especially, it's just super comfortable in the hand, and I really, really enjoy it. No hot spots from the pocket clip whatsoever. The holes, you don't even like kind of notice they're there. Yeah, ergonomically, this thing is really, really good. Zero complaints as far as ergos, except for maybe just knock that jimping down a skosh and a quarter maybe. That's a precise measurement. I'm not really sure what that comes out to in millimeters. As far as the carry goes, not too bad. It's not like fantastic because it's a bit tall. We're looking at what these are 1/2 inch squares, so inch and a quarter basically. Not too bad. Flipper tab sticks out a little bit, but it doesn't. It's not like a huge deal. A nice deep carry clip definitely disappears in the pocket pretty well, and depending on what color you get, none of the G10 colors available are particularly bright or anything, so you're not going to have anything super bright sticking out. I think that clip carries perfectly deep enough, slides in and out of the pocket super easy. You can feel that that flipper tab. It's not egregious, but it's definitely there. That's kind of the only really downside I have with the carry. And the weight is a bit more than that, ounce per inch that people look for ideal EDCs, but not by much. You go at 3 1/4 ounces and 3.125 inch blade or whatever it is. That's fine. So it carries pretty well. It's not like mind-blowingly good in the carry, but it's perfectly fine. As far as the action goes, this is a snappy little devil. I will say, I've had a lot of Kizer Vanguards, and I really do like a lot of them. Now, I've done nothing to this, and it's not well broken in. I have a feeling it will be completely drop shut once it gets broken in. We are running on bearings here, and it's just... the detent on this thing is out freaking standing. Thumb stud. Flipper. I did manage to reverse flick it once. Yeah, I can reverse flick it. Not ideal, but you can do it. It's just, oh, the action on this thing is just so good. It's so good. What it reminds me of, and this is high praise, is another Kizer model that was in the same kind of price bracket. The old Kizer Dukes. Everybody raved about the action on that thing, and this is the first time I've seen Kizer get back to that level of awesome since the Dukes. It is really like, it's just as good as the Dukes was. And yeah, this is great. I will admit there's been some Kizers I've had in lately that I was okay with. I didn't hate any of them, but they weren't anything that really blew me away. And this one really kind of has. It kind of reminds me back of those old the like a couple years ago Kizers. Like every single one I got, I just was like amazed with, and it kind of went away for a little bit, and now this one is right back to that again. This is another one that, yeah, this is Kizer at its best, and it is really, really, really good. I got two Kizers the same day I got this one. I'll have a review coming up too of this. The Genie, I think it's the Genie. Maybe it's the Ge, because that's all it says in the box and on the blade. I don't really know. But this one's really good too. It's just, I'm really happy to see Kizer kind of getting back to their level of awesomeness they were. Probably not even 2 years ago, like a year ago. Just they had a few months there where I got a lot of stuff in where I was kind of like, it's all right. And some of it I didn't even bother reviewing because I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was just kind of meh. But this is a good one. Go get you one of these. Again, when they're in stock again at White Mountain Knives, you can use the code SDWMK at checkout, get 10% off. Otherwise, they're going to be available other places pretty shortly. White Mountain Knives usually gets Kizers before anybody else, and then they go out quickly, and then they start showing up other places. So keep your eye out. The Junges, good knife. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've been Brian. Have a good one.